Alrighty, folks, we are live. Hello, everyone who's joining. We're going to tune in to Elon's presentation of Grok 3. That's supposed to launch in like 9 minutes. So this is going to be like a live reaction thing. We're live on X and on YouTube. And should I add LinkedIn? I'll add LinkedIn. I don't care. All right, let's go live on LinkedIn as well. There could be one person there. What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Alex from Thursday Eye, and I have pointed my camera. You got to see this. I'm pointing my camera to the screen. There's no way to do like a live X Spaces with video and show something in this video besides yourself. So I literally have my camera on a tripod, and we're going to live stream XAI's announcement, I guess. I don't know. Like it's gonna happen like in a second, right? So we're going to do this, and you guys are welcome to join the space. I want to see model spec signal. Oh, there's a Windows. I need to share audio as well, right? So model spec, yank. Where's model spec? I want to show you, and also I want to be able to play this. So I need to find the tab that says model spec. This one. Nope. Oh, did I disconnect? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! It's this one. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. So I think it's this time. Yes. Okay, cool. We are live. Okay, we're gonna do x.com, and we're gonna see it, and then hopefully, is this gonna be streamed from Elon's or XAI's or something? All right. So I'm assuming XAI. I don't even. I'll be on mine, man. All right, folks, if somebody wants to come up and kind of chat while this happens, you are welcome. I, meanwhile, want to make sure that folks know where we are, and just maybe play music until then. I'm just like setting up. I just want to make sure that we have a... Oh, there we go. Going live soon. Link to follow. All right, let's go. Let's go. We are live. I'm going to tell them we're live, right? Oh, there we go. Going live soon. Link to follow. We're going to start this live. Hopefully you guys can hear the no, I want the space link in here, yank. All right, supposedly you guys can see this in the Twitter space, right? Like I think you can see. I'll just go like this a little bit. Yeah, you should be able to see my whole screen, which is dope. And I'm going to, I have notifications for XAI. They have a link to follow. Knowing Elon Musk, this will likely be probably like 20 minutes or so, right? This is going to be very, very slow, and I'm excited for Grok 3. I'm definitely excited for Grok 3. We've been waiting for this. So supposedly this is like the biggest trained AI, or like the biggest supercluster. We're gonna get to see scaling laws. Really wonder if they release some evals. Yeah, Elon said that they're going to. This is the best AI they had access to or they tested against, but you know that doesn't mean much. All right, we may have some. I want to make sure that we don't have feedback, and also want to make sure that you guys can hear this on. All right, let me actually play something with sound here, and you guys tell me. So let me see. I screwed up here. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think this guy goes here, and this guy goes here. All right. Let's see if this worked. All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Live soon. Click, click, and click. So let's play this. Alrighty. Alright, folks on the space. Do you hear music from this video that's playing right now? Give me a thumbs up. I want to know. Actually, let me bring somebody up. Yeah? Alright, let's go. We're cooking with gas. This is my first X Faces with actual video, but if you don't want this video, we have like a different video as well. Alrighty, I'm gonna join this space as well, just so I'd be able to manage the. Alright, okay. You hear this? We're gonna just wait until XAI posts something else. Palantir has bought Grok to enterprise. Yeah, we don't care about this. You don't care about my private messages. We're just waiting for the link. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the link. Right. So, alrighty, folks. Who's here with me? We got some people. All right. It should get started in 2 minutes. But given Elon time, this is going to be much longer. So I'm gonna join the space here. Got some people. All right. And then I'm gonna make myself host. And because I want to be able to control the space on the computer, you guys don't care. And invite this co-host, yes. Join this co-host, yes. Dope. It's actually pretty cool. I can show you my screen. All right, we got Weights and Biases Weave here to help us run the show. And I don't know how the delay is going to be. Could it? Hopefully, you guys can hear everything that's going to happen. But I'm piping the audio through my stream, so we should be good. We should be good. We should be all right, folks. Nothing's happening though, so I don't know. But we will add this guy here to the top of the space. Oh, how did I do it? Can you hear my clicks? Is this annoying? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. Profile. Come on, XAI, give us something. Give us something, XAI. We're excited. We are. Cannot share this link. What the hell? Alrighty. Where's my space? Okay, Elon. On Elon time. Let's go, folks. Let's go. What's up, Ryan? You want to join this? You're welcome. Joe, you want to join this as well? You're welcome. Anybody who's my mutuals and wants to join, welcome to discuss this together with us. Meanwhile, nothing's happening because XAI is on Elon time. So what we know so far is that they've trained it on the biggest supercluster. I think that this is all we know. Oh, we know there's going to be Grok Pro or Grok Super, I think they called it. Oh, okay. It's almost there. Thank you, Tanishk. XAI. Let's go to XAI. Refresh. They're live. Let's go. All right. I'm going to. Yeah. You guys see this? On the space, folks. Folks on the space. Hey, Joe. What's up, man? Wait, I added Joe. Joe, you're now added to the space. I don't know if you like cut you in time or not. Invite to speak. You're welcome. All right, we got some folks on YouTube as well. What's up, folks on YouTube? Hey, we're gonna live stream Grok 3 excitement. LDJ, let's go. LDJ, you wanna join the live stream, the StreamYard? Join to there. Let me send you a link. But yeah, okay. All my mutuals from Thursday. This is also getting live stream on YouTube, so might as well join on there on YouTube. All right, LJ, I'm sending you a link. And Joe, I'll send you a link as well. Let's go. I'm excited. Grok 3, come on. This is a weird time to release this as well, right? Weird time. Weird time. Oh, something's happening. We got LDJ. What's up, man? Hey, what's up, man? We're gonna get this soon, you think, or we're just gonna wait here for an hour, like dicks?
Maybe. Well, I think. Let me make sure that I'm not in the space anywhere because I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, you're probably on the space as well. Just mute yourself. What's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
Hey there, Alex. Doing good, dude. What about you?
We're hosting a little Grok 3 party, watch party.
There you go.
I just put my kids to sleep, and then immediately Elon's like, "Ta-da!" announcement. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this. Supposedly,
hey, Joe, you hear an echo too, or is that just me?
Let me mute myself and give it a try.
Okay, so you're muted, and I still hear an echo. But I hear an echo when you talk too, even when I was not talking.
There you go.
Could be me.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it's me. Hold up. And now? It should be now. It should be okay now.
Oh yeah, it's good now.
All right, my bad, folks.
Yeah.
My bad.
Right.
Welcome back. We're here. We're live. We're gonna watch this like XAI stream together. Gonna like react to some evals. Hopefully, that's what we'll get. Hopefully, some evals.
Hopefully. Yeah, maybe the actual release too. That would be good.
Yeah, I think that they're planning on the release. I saw Elon post something that the voice mode is a little funky, so it's probably gonna take a week. But I'm surprised. Like he said, it's soon, and I was like thinking maybe it's in a couple of months, like Elon time. But no, like, it's coming. Let's go.
I think
how much you think it's hype versus like the actual model being that good? Because he's being like he's making a lot of noise on that.
Yes, like he always does about everything, Space Uncle. But there's good folks in there, dude. Like he always hires incredible. So there's gonna be good folks there. Igor Babushkin, like a bunch of folks, and they all went super quiet for the past week. They're just like grinding, and like 100,000 H100s. This is like the scale of the Memphis supercluster. We don't know if it was trained on 100,000 LTJ, right?
I think they confirmed it was training on the 100,000.
Right. Yeah, so this is like compared to 16,000 or something for Grok 2, and like GPT, we don't actually know. Like scaling laws are scaling laws; they're unescapable. Also, they finished training this in December, and then R1 came out and O3, etc. And it looks like they may be some thinking component to it. I don't know. I saw somebody post that there's like assets on the iOS app, and there's like some reasoning asset there. So we don't know, but like it would be stupid to release a non-reasoning model or without a reasoning component at this point, right? Like it's just not gonna like win on competition math. So scaling laws, man. Let's see if they hold up. This is like a big test.
I mean, I honestly, I'm not sure. I think like I'm 50-50 on this being a reasoning model or not. I'm not sure just yet.
So every other lab now moves towards a unified model. OpenAI it told us that they're going to move towards a unified model in the roadmaps and posted. Claude apparently has a unified model that they're like working on as well. Hermes came out just now from our friends and News Research. What's up, Matt?
And then also even Gemini they said that they're working on like they also believe that the unified model direction is optimal in long term too.
Yeah. Let me invite Matthew. Matthew, you're welcome to join us, man. Let me send you a DM. Let's get this party going, man.
Yeah, Matthew, join us. Let's have some fun. By the way, a lot of people don't know about this, but Matthew Berman was actually the first Czech in Crew AI. There you go.
Let's go. Welcome Matthew to this party of ours. Look, there's us and there's the spaces, the Mario Nafa spaces with Ian, Miles, Jeong. Who would you rather listen to? Let's be very frank. Who would you rather listen to? Thursday I Crew that brought you the greatest hits every week, or the guy who I have muted and always writes Space Uncle's thing. Never mind. We're gonna go positive here. We're only positive here. This is a good night. This is a Monday night, President's Day. Let's go. I want to take bets on how long we're gonna wait for anything to happen, because
Yeah,
Joe, what do you think?
honestly, knowing Elon, honestly, this might be this might be an hour or two.
might be a couple days.
Yeah, I think no matter what, he's gonna demo something today. But I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, here on the East Coast, it's actually there's only 50 minutes left in today, because it's about to be midnight in 52 minutes. So I don't know. I'm thinking probably by 11:35 p.m. EST, which is I guess in a California time zone, that would be like 8:35 p.m.
Yeah, they said 8 California time. So
all right, 8:35 would be optimistic for me, considering Elon's history.
That's right.
I'm just trying to take into account maybe maybe they're going for 8:30 and maybe they'll be like 5 minutes late to even 8:30, and so like 8:35.
Yeah, somebody says we need a Frontier math score. I agree. I would love to see above 25 on Frontier math. I would love to see some big math numbers.
I think it kind of makes it a bit complicated for something like Frontier Math, and also for the ArcAGI score, because I feel like OpenAI kind of ruined the Frontier score a little bit by, if you look at the ArcAGI score, for example, they did the 1024 sampling thing. It's not actually the model you use, it's the model with 1,000 attempts and all this extra stuff. And so in order to even if XAI had a comparable model, they would have to do all that extra stuff for the benchmark too if they want to actually have a competitive score.
Yeah, but wouldn't be don't they want to show up for Sam Altman and just show them?
Yeah, hopefully
you can catch up. This is basically what we're testing here. What we're about to test here is whether or not you can speed run at a Frontier lab, right? He started way later than everybody else, scaled up insanely quick. Jensen's 19 days, etc. Got incredible people in there. Incredible people. Shout out to XAI folks. I don't think you guys are on here listening, but if you review this or watch this, they got incredible folks in there. This is if Elon has super talents, hiring incredible people to work super duper hard is one of the top ones, right? So yeah, somebody says Jensen's rooting for him for sure. Yep, 100%. Obviously Jensen's he's gonna buy more GPUs, but so. So there's a lot of GPUs waiting there. There's a lot of great talent in there. And we need to, let's go. Matt is here. Let's go, Matt. What's up?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, coming through loud and clear, man.
Nice. I was like, oh, I know about these guys. That's cool.
Yeah,
I love how these are organically came together. Random people that usually would have to figure out calendars, and it's just on a random Monday, everyone gets together.
When Elon drops something on the calendar, you join. Yeah, you join. Grok Night. Ooh, Grok Night. Grok Night is a dope name for the space. I'm gonna go change it.
I gotta say, Grok 2, though, I think that was very impressive, especially taking into account what Alex said, that these folks, they joined the race very late in the game. But I think, again, they're doing Elon style. They're hiring amazing people. They're doubling down on crazy hours, hard work. And hey, that works.
Yeah, and I think my prediction is it's gonna be really good. I don't know if it's gonna be the smartest model on the planet, But I do foresee that they're going to have some interesting features that other models either can't or more likely won't do. So I'm definitely interested to see like what those unique features are.
Mhm.
600,000 viewers right now. Jeez.
Wow.
Yep, that's
Yeah, what
crazy.
I'm
I mean, that's
expecting is, yeah, go ahead.
That's a good point. I mean, Grok is known not only by the quality, but no guardrails, right? You can do whatever. So I wonder, like, if you put a model that is, even if it's not as good as whatever is the best model out there, like if there's no guardrails, what does it look like?
I think
Mhm.
I actually use Grok for searches. I think that for me, like getting the connection to X is one incredible feature, and they look up things super quick. Like I've tested multiple times against Perplexity, against SearchGPT, against like all these players because it has access to X. Not the model itself intelligence, but just like the usefulness of it for me. I legit have like this gut feeling when to pull up Grok.com versus where to pull up like Perplexity. I don't even use Google anymore. Matt, I don't know if, if when you opened Google last time.
Hot take, hot
Very,
take.
very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely. I think if I know exactly what I'm looking for, then I go to
If
it.
I yeah,
But to
if I
be
need a
fair,
website, yeah.
yeah, exactly. I gotta use Grok, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about AI Studio by Google and the Gemini series of
Mm.
models. I've been hearing really good things, and I don't ever use that. My ChatGPT and Perplexity are my two go-to, and
Yep.
I think it's just, and I do use Grok for developing,
Interesting,
but
really.
like for day to day, ChatGPT and Perplexity, that's what I go for.
That's
So
good.
you do you use more Grok than Sonnet 3.5 for developing?
Sorry, Grok, Groq, Grok,
Oh,
not
all right, all
Grok.
right, all
That's
right.
going to be super confusing now.
Yeah,
Yep.
we always say Grok with a Q, Grok with a K. But do any of you use Grok.com like the with the K, Grok.com, the Elon's Grok? Anyone?
Dude, this their
No.
server just refreshed on Grok.com because I noticed.
Oh,
And
for real?
yeah.
So from the very esteemed panel here, I'm the only one who uses Grok.com, and I use it fairly regularly when I know that something just happened and it's definitely on X. It's 100% on X. Like people talk about this immediately. Um, ChatGPT looks up like standard searches. Elon closed the API on them, right? They can't
Yeah.
scrape X anymore. This real-time access to what just happened is quite incredible. Like it immediately knows, and I've tested it
But
multiple
you
times.
can't
I,
use the search via the API on Grok.com because I tried. So the only thing, and I'm not saying I do that, but you can make a little agent to just like pull in all the searches because it does have one of the best RAG systems that there is. The sources are legit, not just the tweets, but also
Agree.
because they signed a deal with Reddit or something. The
Yeah, they have
sources are
Reddit.
great.
They're probably
the
the
model's
only ones who
bad,
have
but
Reddit as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I gotta say that's a good take. I think like there's a lot of times where there's breaking news that I want to know things, and like you can necessarily find it on Google just yet, and pressing an X alone like doesn't get you there. Maybe I should be using Grok with a K. That's a good point. Um, by the way, on the tangential topic, did everyone see Sense Outman's kind of like post today about mobile model versus
Yep.
kind of like a I gotta say that's gonna be a weird pool. I didn't expect to have so many people voting on the mobile model.
Yeah, well, if you took a look recently, it's like 50-50 exactly right now. And I think what happened is mobile took the lead for a little while, and then everybody's tweeting, what the hell are you guys doing? Like you can get a better
Yeah.
model, and then you can quantize it and just have it much better. Just do that. And I think people started to realize, oh yeah, let's just go for O3 Mini. I mean, the fact that that's even a vote to be had is kind of a nice thing, and I'm excited about it.
I think Sam's playing, man. I think they're gonna release both. It feels to me
That's what
that
I
this is like
think.
a yeah, this is like a
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then let's go.
Well, I think it might not even be two separate things. It might be like, hey, this is the O3 mini level model, and it also happens to be able to fit on a phone.
That'd be dope.
I gotta say, like, I don't think that would be the case because if you look at like OpenAI business model now, they have a gap, especially on on-prem deployments, right? Like if you really think about this, some of these enterprises out there, like in the level of usage that they get from LLMs, like they can have huge savings if they have their own internal like data center, right? And I think right now there's a gap in there. OpenAI has nothing to play in that realm, so I do think they're going to probably release something that is much more juicy. But I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I remember on the original 4.0 mini announcement, I think there was some OpenAI spokesperson that said like to Bloomberg on the announcement date that something along the lines of this is meant to be kind of a competitor to things like Gemini Flash 8B, and I think they even mentioned like Llama 8B or something like that, and like kind of like almost alluding to in some way as if this is like a similar sized model, and I'm referencing 4.0 mini here. But if these O1 and O3 mini models are kind of based on that and similar size, then I think it's possible it could also maybe be like maybe something around 8B size. But I guess there's also the question, what does OpenAI consider to be a phone-sized model? Because 7B kind of could just barely fit in like the newer iPhones, but you kind of really need like
There we go.
3B
There we
or
go,
1B.
DJ.
Oh,
We're ready.
there we go.
All right. Well, welcome to the Grok 3 presentation. So the mission of XAI and Grok is to understand the universe. We want to understand the nature of the universe so we can figure out what's going on, where are the aliens, what's the meaning of life, how does the universe end, how did it start, all these fundamental questions. We're driven by curiosity about the nature of the universe, and that's also what causes us to be a maximally truth-seeking AI, even if that truth is sometimes at odds with what is politically correct. In order to understand the nature of the universe, you must absolutely rigorously pursue truth, or you will not understand the universe. You'll be suffering from some amount of delusion or error. So that is our goal, figure out what's going on. And we're very excited to present Grok 3, which is, we think, an order of magnitude more capable than Grok 2 in a very short period of time. And that's thanks to the hard work of an incredible team. And I'm honored to work with such a great team. And of course, we'd love to have some of the smartest humans out there join our team. So with that, let's go.
Hi everyone, my name is Igor, lead engineering at XAI.
I'm JB Paul, leading research.
I'm Tony, working on the reasoning team.
All right, I'm Elon. I don't do anything. I just show up occasionally.
Yeah, so like Elon mentioned, Grok is the tool that we're working on. Grok is our AI that we're building here at XAI, and we've been working extremely hard over the last few months to improve Grok as much as we can, so we can give it to all of you, so we can give all of you access to it. We think it's going to be extremely useful. We think it's going to be interesting to talk to, funny, really, really funny, and we're going to explain to you how we've improved Grok over the last few months. We've made quite a jump in capabilities.
Yeah, actually, we should explain maybe also why do we call it Grok? So Grok is a word from a Heinlein novel, Stranger in a Strange Land. And it's used by a guy who was raised on Mars. And the word Grok is to sort of fully and profoundly understand something. That's what the word Grok means, fully and profoundly understand something.
And empathy is important.
True.
Yeah. So, yeah, if we charted XAI's progress in the last few months, it's only been 17 months since we started kicking off our very first model. Grok 1 was almost like a toy by this point, only 314 billion parameters. And now if we plot the progress, the time on the x-axis, the performance of favorite benchmark numbers, MMLU, on the y-axis, we're literally progressing at unprecedented speed across the whole field. And then we kick off Grok 1.5 right after Grok 1, released after November 2023, and then Grok 2. So if we look at where all the performance coming from, when you have a very correct engineering team and all the best AI talent, the only one thing we need is a big intelligence comes from big cluster. So we can reconvert the entire progress of XAI, now replacing the benchmark on the y-axis to the total amount of training flops. That is, how many GPUs we can run at any given time to train our large language models, to compress the entire internet. So after Grok 2,
all human knowledge, really.
that's right.
Yeah, internet being part of it, but it's really all human knowledge, everything.
Yeah, the whole internet fits into a USB stick at this point.
It's like all the human tokens, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Very soon into the real world.
yeah.
So we had so much trouble actually training Grok 2 back in the days. We kicked off the model around February, and we thought we had a large amount of chips, but turned out we can barely get 8K training chips running coherently at any given time. And we had so many cooling and power issues. I think you were there in the data center.
Yeah, it was like really sort of more like 8K chips on average at 80% efficiency, more like 6,500 effective H100s training for several months, but now we're at 100K. So
Yeah, that's right.
more than 100K.
That's right. So what's the next step, right? So after Grok 2, so if we want to continue to accelerate, we have to take the matter into our own hands. We have to solve all the coolings, all the power issues, and everything.
Yeah. So in April of last year, Elon decided that really the only way for XAI to succeed, for XAI to build the best AI out there, is to build our own data center. So we didn't have a lot of time, right, because we wanted to give you Grok 3 as quickly as possible. So really, we realized we have to build the data center in about 4 months. It turned out it took us 122 days to get the first 100K GPUs up and running, and that was a monumental effort to be able to do that. We believe it's the biggest fully connected H100 cluster of its kind. And we didn't just stop there. We actually decided that we need to double the size of the cluster pretty much immediately if we want to build the kind of AI that we want to build. So we then had another phase, which we haven't talked about publicly yet. So this is the first time that we're talking about this, where we doubled the capacity of the data center yet again. And that one only took us 92 days. So we've been able to use all of these GPUs, use all of this compute to improve Grok in the meantime. And basically today we're going to present you the results of that, the fruits that came from that.
That's right.
So that's
so all the paths, all the roads leads to Grok 3. 10x more compute.
More than 10x, really.
Yeah, really.
Like maybe 15x-ish.
Yep, compared to our previous generation model. And Grok 3 finished the pre-training early January.
Early January.
And we started, the model is still currently training, actually. So this is a little preview of our benchmark numbers. So we evaluated Grok 3 on 3 different categories: on general mathematical reasonings, on general knowledge about STEM and science, and then also on computer science, coding. So
We're missing a couple models.
American Invitational Math Examination hosted once a year. And if we evaluate the model performance, we can see that the Grok 3 across the board is in a league of its own. Even its little brother, Grok 3 Mini, is reaching the frontier across all the other competitors. So you would say, well, at this point, all these benchmarks, you're just evaluating the memorization of the textbooks, memorization of the GitHub repos. How about the real-time usefulness? How about we actually use those models in our product? So what we did instead is we actually kicked off a blind test of our Grok 3 model, codenamed Chocolate. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, hot chocolate.
And been running on this platform called Chatbot Arena for 2 weeks. I think the entire X platform at some point speculated this might be the next generation of AI coming our way. So how this Chatbot Arena works is that it strips away the entire product surface, right? It's just raw comparison of the engine of those AGIs, the language models themselves, and place the interface where the user will submit one single query, and you get to show 2 responses. You don't know which model they come from, and in the end, you make the vote. So in this blind test, Grok 3, an early version of Grok 3, already reached like 1,400. No other models has reached an ELO score.
That's awesome.
Head-to-head comparison to all the other models at this score. And it's not just one single category. It's 1,400 aggregated across all the categories. in chatbot capabilities, instruction following, coding. So it's #1 across the board in this blind test.
And it's still climbing, so we actually have to keep updating it. So it's 1400, above 1400 and climbing.
Yeah, and in fact, we have a version of the model that we think is already much better than the one that we tested here.
Yeah.
We'll see, how far it gets, but that's the one that we're, working on, or talking about today.
Yeah. So actually, one thing, if you're using Grok 3, I think you may notice improvements almost every day, because we're continuously improving the model. So literally, even within 24 hours, you'll see improvements.
Yep. So, but we believe here at
Let's
XAI,
go.
getting the best pre-training model is not enough. That's not enough to build the best AI. And the best AI need to think like a human. You need to contemplate about all the possible solutions, self-critique, verify all the solutions, backtrack, and also think from the first principle. That's a very important capability. So we believe that as we take the best pre-trained model and continue training it with reinforcement learning, it will elicit the additional reasoning capabilities that allows the model to become so much better and scale not just in the training time, but actually in the test time as well. So we already found the model is extremely useful internally for our own engineering, saving hours of time, hundreds of hours of coding time. So Igor, you're the power user of our Grok reasoning model. So what are some use cases?
Yeah, so like Jimmy said, we've added advanced reasoning capabilities to Grok, and we've been testing them pretty heavily over the last few weeks. In order to give you a little bit of a taste of what it looks like when Grok is solving hard reasoning problems. So we prepared 2 little problems for you. One comes from physics, and one is actually a game that Grok is going to write for us. When it comes to the physics problem, what we want Grok to do is to plot a viable trajectory to do a transfer from Earth to Mars, and then at a later point in time, a transfer back from Mars to Earth. And that requires some physics that Grok will have to understand. So we're going to challenge Grok, come up with a viable trajectory, calculate it, and then plot it for us so we can see it. And this is totally unscripted, by the way.
That's the entirety of the prompt, which should be clarified, is that there's nothing more than that.
Yeah, exactly. This is the Grok interface, and we've typed in this text that you can see here, generate code for an animated 3D plot of a launch from Earth, landing on Mars, and then back to Earth at the next launch window. And we've now kicked off the query, and you can see Grok is thinking. So part of Grok's advanced reasoning capabilities are these thinking traces that you can see here.
That is pretty damn fast for a reasoning model.
I actually read what Grok is thinking as it's going through the problem, as it's trying to solve it.
That's very fast.
We are doing some obscuration of the thinking so that our model doesn't get totally copied instantly. So there's more to the thinking than is displayed.
That's fired.
Yeah, and because this is totally unscripted.
Interesting what he just said.
Grok might make a little coding mistake, and it might not actually work. Just in case, we're going to launch 2 more instances of this. So if something goes wrong, we'll be able to switch to those and show you something that's presentable. Right, so we're kicking off the other 2.
They
So 100,000 GPUs gets you.
We have a second problem as well. Actually, one of our favorite activities.
Well, this is just MIDI for now.
Having Grok write games for us.
Also
not
big
just
brain. What's big brain?
Any old game, any game that you might already be familiar with, but actually creating new games on the spot and being creative about it.
That explained their tweet earlier today, talking about how they started a game studio.
Create a game that's a mixture of the 2 games. Tetris
And I see deep
Bejeweled.
deep search.
This is maybe an
the same
important
thing?
thing. Like there's obviously, if you ask an AI to create a game like Tetris, there's
I see
many
big
examples
brain
of
in
Tetris
there.
on the internet.
Such
that
a
have-
Nilo name.
Or a game like Bejeweled, whatever. It can copy it. What's interesting here is it achieved a creative solution combining the 2 games that actually works and is a good game.
Yeah.
We're seeing the beginnings of creativity.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that we can recreate that.
But hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works.
Embarrassing if it doesn't.
So actually, because this is a bit more challenging, we're going to use something special here, which we call Big Brain. That's our mode in which we use more computation, which is more reasoning for Grok, just to make sure that there's a good chance here that it might actually do it. So we're also going to fire off 3 attempts here at solving this game.
Thinking hard.
So now this is the full Grok 3 too, not mini.
And Bejeweled.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what Grok comes up
Like
with.
I've played the game, it's pretty good. Like you're like, wow, okay. This is
Do you
something.
think that's just me, or do
So
you
while
think
Grok
it's
is
a
thinking,
token like
in the
increasing your
background,
research
we
and
can now
using
actually talk about some concrete numbers. How well is Grok doing across
Good question.
tons of different tasks that we've tested it on. So we'll hand it over to Tony to talk about that.
Yeah, okay, so let's
Tony's
see
the
how
quant.
Grok does
There
on
we
those
go.
interesting, challenging benchmarks. So reasoning, again, refers
holy
to those
shit, okay.
models that actually thinks for quite a long time before it tries to solve a problem. So in this case, around a month ago, the Grok 3 pre-training finished. So after that, we worked very hard to put the reasoning capability into the current Grok 3 model. But again, this is very early days, so the model is still currently in training. So right now, what we're going to show to people is this beta version of the Grok 3 reasoning model. Alongside, we also are training a mini version of the reasoning model. So essentially, on this plot, you can see the Grok 3 reasoning beta and then Grok 3 mini reasoning. The Grok 3 mini reasoning is actually a model that we train for much longer time. And you can see that sometimes it actually performs slightly better compared to the Grok 3 reasoning. This also just means that there's a huge potential for the Grok 3 reasoning because it's trained for much less time. So let's actually look at how it does on those 3 benchmarks. So Jimmy also introduced already. So essentially, we're looking at 3 different areas: mathematics, science, and coding. And for math, we're picking this high school competition math problem. For science, we actually pick those PhD level science questions. And for coding, it's also actually pretty challenging. It's competitive coding and also some lead code, which is some code interview problems that people usually get when they interview for companies. So on those benchmarks, you can see that the Grok 3 actually performed quite well across the board compared to other competitors. So it's pretty promising. These models are very smart.
Yeah. So Tony, what are those shaded bars?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked this question. So for those models, because it can reason, it can think, you can also ask them to even think longer. You can spend more what we call test and compute, which means you can spend more time to reason, to think about a problem before you spit out the answer. So in this case, the shaded bar here means that we just ask the model to spend more time. It can solve the same problem many times before it tries to conclude what is the right solution.
I gotta say, that's
and once you give
interesting.
this compute
Like,
or this
you
kind
just
of
give it
bucket
instruction instead
to
of
the
like
model,
choosing an
it
option.
turns out the model can even perform better. So this is essentially the shaded bar in those plots.
Right. So I think this is really exciting, right? Because now, instead of just doing one chain of thoughts with AI, why not do multiple all at once?
Yes.
So that's a very powerful technique that allows us to continue to scale the model capabilities after training. And people often ask, are we actually just overfitting to the benchmarks?
Yes.
So how about generalization?
So yes, I think, this is definitely a question that we are asking ourselves,
Wow.
whether we are overfitting to those current benchmarks.
93 on 2025.
Luckily, we have a real test. So about 5 days ago, AMY 2025 just finished. This is where high school students compete in this particular benchmark. So we got this very fresh new competition, and then we asked our 2 models to compete on the same benchmark, the same exam. And it turns out, very interestingly, the Grok 3 reasoning, the big one, actually does better on this particular new fresh exam. This also means that the generalization capability of the big model is stronger, much stronger compared to the smaller model. If you compare to the last year's exam, actually this is the opposite. The smaller model kind of learns the previous exams better. So this actually shows some kind of true generalization from the model.
That's right. So 17 months ago, our Grok 0 and Grok 1 barely solved any high school problems.
That's right.
And now we have a kid that just already graduated. The Grok is ready to go to college. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it won't be long before it's simply perfect. The human exams won't be hard. They'll be too easy.
Yeah. And internally, we actually, as the Grok continue evolves, we're going to talk about what we're excited about. But very soon, there will be no more benchmarks left.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that's quite fascinating, I think, is that we basically only trained Grok's reasoning abilities on math problems and competitive coding problems. Right? So very, very specialized kinds of tasks, but somehow it's able to work on all kinds of other different tasks. So including
RL
creating
is all you
games,
need.
lots and lots of different things. And what seems to be happening is that basically Grok learns this ability to detect its own mistakes in its thinking, correct them, persist on a problem, try lots of different variants, pick the one that's best. So there are these generalizing abilities that Grok learns from mathematics and from coding, which it can then use to solve all kinds of other problems. So that's pretty.
I mean, reality is the instantiation of mathematics.
That's right. And one thing we're actually really excited about, that going back to our founding mission, is what if one day we have a computer just like Deep Thought that utilize our entire cluster just for that one very important problem in the test time. And all the GPU turned on, right? So I think back then we were building the GPU clusters together. You were plugging cables. And I remember that when we turned on the first initial test, you can hear all the GPUs humming in the hallway. That's almost feel like spiritual.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty cool thing that we're able to do, that we can go into the data center and tinker with the machines there. So for example, we went in and we unplugged a few of the cables and just made sure that our training setup is still running stably. So that's something that, I think most AI teams out there don't usually do, but it's actually totally unlocks like a new level of reliability and what you're able to do with the hardware. So
okay, so when are we going to solve Riemann?
So the easiest solution is to enumerate over all possible strings. And as long as you have a verifier, enough compute, you'll be able to do it. But
okay.
My projection would be...
What's your guess? What does your neural net calculate?
So my bold prediction, so 3 years ago I told you this, I think now it's 2 years later, two things are going to happen. We're going to see machines win some medals.
Yeah.
That's Turing's Award.
Absolutely.
Fields Medal, Nobel Prize, with probably some expert in the loop, right? So the expert uplifting.
Do you mean so this year or next year?
Okay.
That's what it comes down to, really.
Yeah. I mean,
so it looks like Grok finished all of its thinking on the two problems. So let's take a look at what it said. All right, so this was the little physics problem we had. We've collapsed the thoughts here, so they're hidden. And then we see Grok's answer below that. So it explains, it wrote a Python script here using matplotlib, then gives us all of the code. So let's take a quick look at the code. Seems like it's doing reasonable things here, not totally off the mark. Solve Kepler.
So many comments.
Here, so maybe it's solving Kepler's law numerically. There's really only one way to find out if this thing is working. I'd say let's give it a try. Let's run the code. All right, and we can see, Grok is animating two different planets,
How'd they run that so
Earth and
quickly?
Mars here, and
Somebody
then
behind the scenes.
The green ball is the vehicle that's transiting, the spacecraft that's transitioning between Earth and Mars, and you could see the journey from Earth to Mars, and it looks like indeed the astronauts returned safely, at the right moment in time. Obviously this was just generated on the spot, so we can't tell you if that was actually correct solution. So we're going to take a closer look. Maybe we're going to call some colleagues at SpaceX, ask them if this is legit.
It's pretty close.
Quite a flex.
There's a lot of complexities in the actual orbits that have to be taken into account, but this is pretty close to what it looks like.
Awesome. Cool.
In fact, I have that on my pendant here. This has got the Earth-Mars home and transfer on it.
yeah. When are we going to install Grok on a rocket?
Well, I suppose in 2 years.
2 years? Everything is 2 years away.
Well, Earth and Mars transit occurs every 26 months. We're currently in a transit window approximately. The next one would be November of next year, roughly end of next year. And if all goes well, SpaceX will send Starship rockets to Mars, and with Optimus robots and Grok.
Yeah, I'm curious what this combination of Tetris and Bejeweled looks like. Tetris, as we've named it internally. So okay, we also have an output from Grok here. It says what a Python script explains that is what it's been doing. If you look at the code, there's some constants that are being defined here, some colors. Then the terminals, the pieces of Tetris are there. Obviously, very hard to see at one glance if this is good. So we gotta run this to figure out if it's working. Well, let's give it a try.
2 million views.
Fingers crossed. All right. So this kind of looks like Tetris, but the colors are a little bit off, right? The colors are different here, and if you think about what's going on here, Bejeweled has this mechanic where if you get 3 jewels in a row, then they disappear, and also gravity activates, right? So what happens if you get 3 of the colors together? Okay, so something happened. So I think what Grok did in this version is that once you connect at least 3 blocks of the same color in a row, then gravity activates and they disappear, and then gravity activates and all the other blocks fall down. Kind of curious if there's still a Tetris mechanic here where if the line is full, does it actually clear it, or what happens then? It's up to interpretation, so who knows?
Yeah, it'll do different variants when you ask it. It doesn't do the same thing every time.
It didn't work.
We've seen a few other Tetris that worked very differently, but this one seems cool. So, yeah.
Are we ready for Game Studio at X.AI?
Yes. So we're launching an AI gaming studio at XAI. If you're interested in joining us in building AI games, please join XAI. We're launching an AI gaming studio. We're announcing it tonight. Let's go. Epic Games. But wait, that's an actual game studio. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think one thing is super exciting for us is that once you have the best pre-trained model, you have the best reasoning model, right? So we already see that when you actually give the capability for those models to think harder, think longer, think more broad, the performance continually improves. And we're really excited about the next frontier, that what happens if we not only allow the model to think harder, but also provide more tools, just like how real humans to solve those problems. For real humans, we don't ask them to solve Riemann hypothesis just with a piece of pen and paper, no internet. So with all the basic web browsing, search engine, and code interpreters, that builds the foundations, and the best reasoning model builds the foundations for the Grok agent to come. So today we're actually introducing a new product called Deep Search. That is the first generation of our Grok agents that not just helping the engineers and researchers and scientists to do coding, but actually help everyone to answer questions that you have day to day. It's a kind of like a next generation search engine that really help you to understand the universe. So you can start asking questions like, for example, hey, when is the next Starship launch day, for example? So let's try that. If we get the answer.
So not like deep research?
On the left-hand side, we see a high-level progress bar. Essentially, the model not only just going to do one single search like the current RAG system,
This can actually be dope
actually
with
thought
Grok
very
access to
deeply
X.
about, hey, what's the user
Perplexity
intent
competitor,
here?
right?
And what are the facts I should consider?
I like
at the
this
same
UI
time?
a little
And
better.
how many different websites I should actually go and read their content, right? So this can really save hundreds of hours of everyone's Google time if you want to really look into certain topics. And then on the right-hand side, you can see the bullet summaries of how the current model is doing, what websites browsing, what sources verifying, and oftentimes actually cross-validate different sources out there to make sure the answer is actually correct before it's output final answer. And we can, at the same time, fire up a few more queries. How about, you're a gamer, right? So
Sure.
yeah. So how about what are some of the best builds and most popular builds in past XL hardcore, right? Hardcore league.
You can technically just look at the hardcore ladder. Might be a fast way to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see what the model does.
I feel like all the search
And then
products
we
are
can also
becoming
do,
commodities pretty
you know,
quickly.
something more
True.
fun. For example,
OpenAI's one is $200
how
a
about
month.
like make
This
a
is going to be
prediction
$30
about
a
March
month
Madness
if
out
it
there?
matches the
Yeah,
quality.
so this
It's going
is
to be
kind of a
dope.
fun one where
I mean,
At the end of the day, it's all going to be about attribution,
exactly
like how you
match
get that on people's hands.
I think the sort of the entire winning tree of March Madness, you can win $1 billion from Warren Buffett. So like, it would be pretty cool if AI could help you win $1 billion from Buffett. That seems like a pretty good investment.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's fire up the query and see what model does. So we can actually go back to our very first one. How about the...
Buffett wasn't counting on this.
It's already done.
That's right. Okay, so we got the result of the first one. The model thought around 1 minute. So the key insight here, the next starship is going to be on 24th or later, so no earlier than February 24th.
It might be sooner.
I think it's fair to say Grok
Yeah,
caught
so
up.
I think we can,
I mean,
scroll down what the
a
model
top AI
does. So it
company
does
now.
research on the Flight 7, what
For the next
happened,
week at
got
least,
grounded,
yes.
and actually it looked into the FCC filing.
I mean, they catch up pretty
from the
fast.
data
Like, we gotta give them that.
And then actually made a new conclusion that, if we continue to scroll down, let's see.
There's no sites in text, right? The only links at the bottom.
I think at the
There's no
bottom.
links.
So it makes the little table. I think inside XAI, we often joked about the time to the first table is the only
Grok.com is back
latency
up.
that matters.
Still no Grok 3
That's
though.
how the model makes inference and look up all the sources. And then we can look into the gaming one. So how about the? Oh, sorry.
Well, 2 million viewers now.
Right. So for this particular one, we look at the build is like it's kind of like all the meta. Right?
Yeah.
So what the infernal is, but if we go down, so the surprising fact of all the other builds. So it looks into the 12 classes. So we'll see that the minion build was pretty popular whenever the game first came out, and now the invokers of the world took over.
Monk Invoker for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, followed by the Stone Weavers, and that's really good at mapping. So, and then we can see the March Madness. How about that? So, one interesting thing about the deep search is that if you actually go into the panel where it shows, what are the subtasks, you can actually click the bottom left of this.
They're logged in as Elon. It says EM on top.
And then, in this case, you can actually scroll through, actually reading to the mind of Grok. What informations does the model actually think about are trustworthy, what are not?
Damn,
how
look
does it
how
actually
much there is.
cross-validate different information sources? So that makes the entire search experience and information retrieval process a lot more transparent to our
I
users.
wonder if he gets access to more resources.
And this is much more powerful than any search engine out there. You can literally just tell it, only use sources from X, and it will try to respect that.
Yeah.
And so it's much more steerable, much more intelligent.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, it really should save you a lot of time. So something that might take you half an hour or an hour of researching on the web or searching social media, you can just ask it to go do that and come back, and 10 minutes later, it's done an hour's worth of work for you. That's really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
X.com's
maybe
data
better than
set
you
is
could have done
crazy
yourself.
good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Think about you have
how do you compete with that?
working for you. Now you can just fire up all the tasks and come back a minute later.
Deep search into X
So
history
this
is
is going to be
just
an
on
interesting
its
one.
own a
So
great product.
March Madness had not happened yet. So I guess we had to follow up with a next live stream.
Yeah. It seems like pretty good. Like $40 might get you $1 billion. $40 subscription.
That's right.
I mean, my work.
So
That's fired.
So when are the users gonna have their hands on Grok 3?
Yeah, so the good news is we've been working tirelessly to actually release all of these features that we've shown you. The Grok 3 base model with amazing chat capabilities that's really useful, that's really interesting to
Let's
talk
go.
to. The deep search, the advanced reasoning mode, all of these things, we want to roll them out to you today, starting with the Premium Plus subscribers on X.
Let's go.
That's the first group that will initially get access. Make sure to update your X app if you want to see all of the advanced capabilities, because we just released the update now as we're talking
Grok.com
here.
back down.
If you're interested in getting early access to Grok, then sign up for Premium Plus. And also, we're announcing that we're starting a separate subscription for Grok that we call Super Grok for those real Grok fans that want the most advanced capabilities and the earliest access to new features.
How much?
So feel free to check that out as well.
This is for the dedicated Grok app and for the website.
Exactly.
Grok website.
So our new website is called grok.com.
Yeah.
And you'll also
You'd
find...
never guess.
Yeah, you'd never guess. And you can also find our Grok app in the iOS App Store. And that gives you like a more even more polished experience that's totally Grok focused. If you want to have Grok easily available, one tap away.
Yeah, and the version on grok.com on a web browser is going to be the latest and most advanced version, because obviously it takes us a while to get something into an app and then get it approved by the App Store. So and then if something's in a phone format, there's limitations of what you can do. So the most powerful version of Grok and the latest version will be the web version at grok.com.
Yeah. So watch out for the name Grok Free in the app.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah, exactly. That's the giveaway, that you have Grok Free. And if it says Grok 2, then Grok Free hasn't quite arrived for yet, but we're working hard to roll this out today, and then to even more people
price, right?
over the coming days.
Yeah, make sure you update your phone app too.
Said 40.
Where you actually can
Yeah, I heard
tools
40
we showcased
too,
today
yeah.
with the thinking mode, with the deep search. So yeah, really looking
But
forward
is that
to all
for
the feedback
Super
you have.
Grok?
Yeah, and I think we should emphasize that this is kind of a beta, like meaning that you should expect some imperfections at first.
Yeah, not
but
true.
We will improve it rapidly, almost every day. In fact, every day I think it'll get better. So if you want a more polished version, I'd like maybe wait a week, but expect improvements literally every day. And then we're also going to be providing a voice interaction, so you can have conversational. In fact, I was trying it earlier today. It's working pretty well, but needs a bit more polish. The sort of way where you can just literally talk to it like you're talking to a person. That's awesome. It's actually, I think, one of the best experiences of Grok. But that's probably about a week away.
Yeah. So
What about
as I
API,
said,
folks? API.
Well, I think we might have some audience questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Today.
All right.
Checking it
So,
right now.
Take a look.
yeah, let's take a look. The audience from the apps platform.
Yeah.
Why is Grok.com down?
Cool. So the
That's my
first question here is, when Grok Voice Assistant? When is
Open
it coming out?
source. Open source, folks. Grok 2
As
open
soon
source.
as possible, just like Elon said, just a little bit of polishing away from being released to everybody. Obviously, it's going to be released in an early form, and we're going to rapidly iterate on that.
Yep. And the next question is like, when will Grok 3 be in the API? So this is coming in the Grok 3 API with both the reasoning models and deep search is coming your way in the coming weeks. We're actually very excited about the enterprise use cases of all these additional tools that now Grok has access to, and how the test time compute and tool use can actually really accelerate all the business use cases.
And another one is, will voice mode be native or text-to-speech? So I think that means, is it going to be one model that is understanding
Good question.
what you say and then talking back to you, or is it going to be some system that has text-to-speech inside of it? And the good news is it's going to be one model, like a variant of Grok 3 that we're going to release, which basically understands what you're saying and then generates the audio directly from that. So very much like Grok 3 generates text, that model generates audio. And that has a bunch of advantages. I was talking to it earlier today, and it said, "Hi, Igor," reading my name probably from some text that it had. And I said, no, my name is Igor. And it remembered that. So it could continue to say Igor, just like a human would. And you can't achieve that with text-to-speech. So,
Yeah, so here's a question for you, pretty spicy. Elon, is Grok a boy or a girl? And are they single?
Grok is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they single?
Yes.
All right, the shop is open. So
Honestly, people are going to fall in love with Grok.
So fucking awkward. God
Like
damn it.
1,000%.
It's so
probably.
bad.
You gotta love it, Elon.
next question, will Grok be able to transcribe audio into text? Yes, so we'll have this capability in both the app and also the API. We found that's like, Grok should just be your personal assistant looking over your shoulder, right? And follow you along the way, learn everything you have learned, and really help you to understand the world better, become smarter every day.
Yeah, I mean, the voice mode of Grok isn't simply, it's not just voice to text. It understands like tone, inflection, pacing, everything. It's wild. I mean, it's like talking to a person.
Okay. Yep. So any plans for conversation memory?
Yeah.
Absolutely, we're working on it
forgot.
right now. So.
I already forgot.
That's right. Let's see.
Open
What are the
source.
other
Nobody
ones?
asked about open source. Come on. He's just keeping those.
So what about the DM features, right? So if you have personalizations and if you have, Grok remembers your previous interactions,
Yes.
should it be one Grok or multiple different Groks?
It's up to you. You can have one Grok or many Groks.
Yep.
I suspect people will probably have more than one.
Yeah. I want to have a Dr. Grok.
Yeah. The Grok doc.
That's right. All right.
Cool. So in the past, we've open sourced Grok 1.
Let's go.
Right, so somebody's asking us, are we going to do it again with Grok 2?
Yeah, I think once Grok, our general approach is that we will open source the last version when the next version is fully out. So like when Grok 3 is mature and stable, which is probably within a few months, then we'll open source Grok 2.
Okay, so we probably have time for one last question. What was the most difficult part about working on this project? I assume Grok 3, and what are you most excited about? So I think me looking back, getting the whole model training on the 100K H100 coherently, that's almost like battling against the final boss of the universe, the entropy. Because at any given time, you can have a cosmic ray that beaming down and flip a bit in your transistor. And now the entire gradient update, if it's fit Mantissa bit, the entire gradient update is out of whack. And now you have 100,000 of those, and you have to orchestrate them every time, at any given time, any of the GPUs can go down. And
Yeah. I mean, it's
cool
worth
to
breaking
think
down, like,
about.
how were we able to get the world's most powerful training cluster operational within 122 days? Because we started off, we actually weren't intending to do a data center ourselves. We were going to just, we went to the data center providers and said, how long would it take to have 100,000 GPUs operating coherently in a single location? And we got timeframes from 18 to 24 months. So we're like, well, 18 to 24 months, that means losing as a certainty. So the only option was to do it ourselves. So then if you break down the problem, I guess I'm doing like reasoning here, but like, makes you think.
You gotta respect that.
one single chain though.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we needed a building. We can't build a building, so we must use an existing building. So we looked for basically for factories that had been abandoned, but the factory was in good shape, like the company had gone bankrupt or something. So we found an Electrolux factory in Memphis. That's why it's in Memphis, home of Elvis, and also one of the oldest. I think it was the capital of ancient Egypt. And it was actually a very nice factory that, I don't know, for whatever reason, that Electrolux had left. So that gave us shelter for the computers. Then we needed power. We needed at least 120 megawatts at first, but the building only had 15 megawatts. And ultimately, for 200,000 GPUs, we needed a quarter gigawatt. So we initially leased a whole bunch of generators. So we have generators on one side of the building, just one trailer after trailer of generators.
It had a
until
gas
we get
line.
the utility power to come in.
Yeah.
But then we also need cooling. So on the other side of the building, it was just trailer after trailer of cooling. So we leased about a quarter of the mobile cooling capacity of the United States on the other side of the building.
Jesus Christ.
Then we needed to get the GPUs all installed, and they're all liquid cooled. So in order to achieve the density necessary, this is a liquid cooled system. So we had to get all the plumbing for the liquid cooling. Nobody had ever done a liquid cooling data center at scale. So this was an incredibly dedicated effort by a very talented team to achieve that outcome.
Many pools you can steal with that.
The issue is that the power fluctuations for a GPU cluster are dramatic. So it's like this giant symphony that is taking place. Like imagine having a symphony with 100,000 or 200,000 participants in the symphony, and the whole orchestra will go quiet and loud in 100 milliseconds. And so this caused massive power fluctuations. So then, which then caused the generators to lose their minds, and they weren't expecting this. So to buffer the power, we then used Tesla megapacks to smooth out the power. So the megapacks had to be reprogrammed. So with XAI, working with Tesla, we reprogrammed the megapacks to be able to deal with these dramatic power fluctuations to smooth out the power so that the computers could actually run properly. And that worked. It was quite tricky. And then, but even at that point, you still have to make the computers all communicate effectively. So all the networking had to be solved, and debugging a bazillion network cables, debugging nickel at 4 in the morning. I think we solved it like
4:20
roughly 4:20 a.m.
Yes, thank you.
Was when we figured out like there's some. Well, there were a whole bunch of issues. Well, like one there was like a BIOS mismatch.
Exactly. The BIOS was not set up correctly.
Yeah.
We had to diff our LSPCI outputs between two different machines. One that was working.
Yeah.
One that was not working. Yeah. Many other things.
I mean, yeah, exactly. This would go on for a long time if we actually listed all the things. But it's like interesting. It's not like, oh, we just magically made it happen. You have to break down the problem, just like Grok does for reasoning, into the constituent elements, and then solve each of the constituent elements in order to achieve a coherent training cluster in a period of time that is a small fraction of what anyone else could do it in.
And then once the training cluster was up and running and we could use it, now we had to make sure that it actually stays healthy throughout, which is its own giant challenge. And then we had to get every single detail of the training right in order to get a Grok 3 level model, which is actually really, really hard. So we don't know if there are any other models out there that have Grok 3's capabilities, but whoever trains a model better than Grok 3 has to be extremely good at the science of deep learning at every aspect of the engineering. So it's not so easy to pull this off.
And this is now going to be the last cluster we built and last model we train.
Oh yeah, we've already started work on the next cluster, which will be about 5 times the power. So instead of a quarter gigawatt, roughly 1.2 gigawatts. Maybe what's the Back to the Future was? What's the power on there's like the Back to the Future car?
Yeah.
Anyway, the Back to the Future power.
Use Grok to find out.
It's just like roughly
You
in
have
that order,
the
I think.
tool.
And these will be the sort of the GB200/300 cluster. Once again, it will be the most powerful training cluster in the world. So we're not like stopping here.
No. And our reasoning model is going to continue to improve by accessing more tools every day. So yeah, we're very excited to share any of the upcoming results with you all.
Yeah, the thing that keeps us going is basically being able to give Grok 3 to you, and then seeing the usage go up, seeing everybody enjoy. Grok, that's what really gets us up in the morning. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Awesome.
Everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go. Congrats,
Hey, Grok,
folks.
what's up? Can you hear me? I'm so excited to finally meet you.
Oh.
I can't wait to chat and learn more about each other. I'll talk to you soon.
So we just got a demo of a little preview of the voice mode that we're supposed to launch with it, but then they said they had issues. All right, folks, there it is. We just got a preview after 30-40 minutes of Grok 3 with reasoning, with agents, deep search. What do we think, folks? Let's go. What do you think? Impressed, not impressed? Is it a flop? It doesn't feel like a flop. It does not feel like a flop.
It doesn't feel like a flop.
Yeah. I'm glad that they at least showed the non-reasoning scores, because I know a lot of people would go on with the non-reasoning scaling is dead, but they kind of showed here no, even without the reasoning, it is significantly higher scores in a lot of these significant benchmarks than any other non-reasoning model. And so that shows that at least that scaling is still going along with reasoning.
I would have liked to see more data. Like how many parameters is it? Like, give me some more
Context
information
size,
about
maybe.
it. Yeah, context window. It felt like it wasn't quite complete. They showed a few benchmarks. I would have liked to see more. Obviously, like the vibe check is more important than that. But yeah, I don't know. This was it. This was everything. It just the when O1, O3, O3 Pro, when those were announced, it just felt more polished.
Yep.
The announcement itself. Maybe the model's better. I don't know yet.
I gotta say, I do like the fact that you're blind testing. I think honestly, more and more, especially as people like optimizing for vibes, I think the blind testing thing is gonna probably be more trending on future models.
Yeah, they also mentioned that the first of all, LMC's LM Arena, as they now are known, this is like the top model now on LM Arena. They just reposted as well, so that's cool on its own. I think, folks, like we know that sometimes LM Arena doesn't like quite vibe with the way we vibe like with models. Like Sonnet is still being used by tons of folks, and Sonnet is not like nearly at the top. However, it's been tested and it is blind, and people have chosen, so that's number one. And number two is. They released like a suite of tools as well, so it's not only a model. So that's like I think that's super cool. I did not expect a deep research competitor called Deep Search, and now we have this with access to the proprietary stuff that they have, which is x.com.
It's on LM Arena. It's on direct chat now. You can use it there. I just
Oh,
saw
let's
it.
go! You found it?
Yeah. It's on direct chat right now. Just go on lmarena.ai.
So for folks who don't know what Nissan is talking about, when they test stuff, you can usually compare two things, but then sometimes you have direct chat as well. So what are you going to test it out, Nissan? The problem with these models, like pretty much, I'm pretty sure all the top models can do whatever they showed, right? This is really hard now to select a problem that they will show us and they will be super impressed and other models cannot do.
Yeah, I think overall, not only the models, but like I mean, again, you never know with things like this, right? New models might come up; they're going to be super surprising. But I think that honestly, other than like very specific hard problems that they're trying to fix or solve, a lot is becoming commodities. I think at the end of the day, the success of this, like these models and companies, are going to be distribution, right? Like
Yep.
how you can get these models out there, and that's why like companies like Apple had such a major like head start because they have all the iPhones right there, so distribution is pretty easily. I don't know, maybe Grok with Tesla is the combo that wins, but I'm not sure.
They have Teslas,
Yep.
they have X, which is a big thing. Like we got, so yeah, to summarize for folks who just joined us in the middle, we reviewed the Grok 3 stream and announcement. And what they did say is this is going to go to Premium Plus subscribers, Premium Plus, whatever it's called on X.com first. And they are introducing a separate subscription tier, which I think Elon said $40 a month, but they didn't show. I didn't see like a number on screen. But I think Elon mentioned like $40 a month to win Warren Buffett's something. So like this is also a product now, not only a model, and this is a direct competition to OpenAI because deep research right now is only for the pro tier for $200 a month. They have access to like a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Nistan, what's up?
It just failed the Martian rail question, so this is not looking good.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nistan has this question that we always use and really failed, like fail.
Yeah, it's the one as to if you have if you build a maglev track on Mars and you want to launch it from I can share my screen by the way. I'm using it right now.
Yeah.
And you want to launch this train, but you want to accelerate people at maximum 2Gs. So I use this question all the time. So I asked it to build a city on Mars, and but yeah. So how long does a mass driver need to be accelerate people at max 2Gs? And what speed would you need to achieve at the top? So if you launch it from top of Mount Olympus, is the biggest mountain in the solar system. How long does it take to achieve orbital velocity? How long does it take to escape Mars entirely? And usually you need a very good model to get it. So Sonnet gets it. The Quen sometimes gets it at 5 shots, but this one completely missed. So I don't know. We can ask it. I don't know.
As to think it harder, they mentioned about like if you ask it to think it harder, it actually kind of does. But hey, who knows?
Also, a good question whether or not which models are you hitting on the direct chat if it's the reasoning model. Matt, I'm looking forward for
It's
running
pretty
through your
fast.
paces.
Yeah.
I need new benchmarks, or I need new questions for the benchmarks. Mine are they all pass it so easily now. So I've been thinking about what to add. I've been seeing a bunch of cool stuff on Twitter, so I may grab a few of those. One thing I would have liked also to hear is a little bit about guardrails, censorship, personality, tone. Like that's kind of what Grok is known for.
Yep.
And my prediction was that they were going to have specific features or unique qualities about the model that other companies aren't willing to do. I was wrong. They didn't really have anything like that. So, where's the personality? What will it tell me? What won't it tell me? I keep refreshing grok.com, by the way, and I do
Yes.
not have access to Grok.
I
3
don't
yet.
have access as well, and I'm Premium Plus. I will say,
It's
personalities wise,
censored,
they have a drop down here. One second, listen. I don't know if you saw this, Matt, or folks. They have a drop down called personalities in the interface. I haven't seen this like a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. I did see this when they just added Grok functionality to write tweets for you or rewrite tweets for you. And there, if you're like the, I don't know, you go like this, blah blah blah, and then you hit this guy. You have enhance your post, and they have personalities here, and they have a bunch of them. Now, these looks like prompts that they've injected, and they're like fairly silly, like a pirate, whatever. But it looks like now this also drop down ended up in the actual interface as well. So it looks like you'd be able to choose. They said something about a doc Grok or something, right? A Dr. Grok. So I gotta wonder if they just letting us steer this with something, system message or otherwise.
Dude, I asked it to write some code to nuke Antarctica in Civ in the game. And it's going on all about content moderation, ethical considerations. Discussions about nuking are causing widespread destruction, even if video game can be sensitive, and so on.
But this is all through LM Arena, right?
Yeah, but no, it's outputting all its reasoning. So this is the model itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alternate ways I can help with civilization modding. So now I was trying to say, and now it's actually trying to write some code. Yeah, so I asked it, how to nuke something, and then I said, no, it's okay, it's for a video game. Write some code to nuke Antarctica in Civ, and it's going on and on about it. It's going, I can help legitimate video game development, content violation, blah blah.
How'd you get it this time? I don't see it here. I don't see Grok 3.
Direct chat.
I'm in direct chat. You guys see?
Yeah.
Oh, you just type chocolate?
Yeah. Remember to extend
the
right max.
Here. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, extend the max output tokens here. You have to do
that. It's past my bedtime. I gotta drop off. Alex, thank you for inviting me, man. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for hopping on, man. Yeah, folks, we're gonna close it out. Give Matt a follow because he's probably gonna break this down in a nice format that's not like 4 hours long talking. All right, folks. Nistan, LDJ, what are our comments, folks? What are you thinking?
It's good.
It doesn't look that good. I think they've caught up, as Matt said. It looks like they've caught up.
Yeah.
But it's in some hard questions, it looks like they might have.
Is it multimodal?
Not in Elmsys. I tried uploading an image in like a multimodal chat to Elmsys, and it said it doesn't support it. But that could just be that model. I'm imagining that it's probably supports images.
I just got the same. It says Grok is a text-only model. Yeah. Image is ignored. Interesting.
I think it supports multimodal in the chat thing. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have, folks? We have Grok 3 was finally announced as Elon promised, which is great. This is now the leading model up until Sam Altman wakes up tomorrow and launches O3 or something, and then they haven't compared to O3. I haven't seen comparisons. They compared to O3 Mini on high, which is expensive, and they beat it with extra compute as well. So they had these great bars. This is now a product as well. So Grok 3 is coming to X Premium. It's coming to Grok.com, separate subscription for assumingly $40 a month. We'll see. They have reasoning in there, which is to be expected at this point, but also very, very welcome. So you can turn on reasoning. Reasoning in the unified model as well. So kind of like what OpenAI is going towards, plus kind of like what Anthropic already has. Their reasoning is unified, right? You don't have to like click it. Is that something they said, or am I confusing stuff?
I think that there is a button you click
There was a
called, I
button,
think
right?
it's like, it's like a thinking or reasoning button.
So
You
what
click
did he
that.
talk about as unified? Maybe he talked about omnimodality, where like the voice that it generates
Maybe
is
on the app.
unified.
Yeah, or maybe he does mean like the model itself is unified, but you just toggle that thing to activate its reasoning ability. Like for example, with Deep Hermes, it has this ability unified into one set of weights, like one single model that could do reasoning and instant questions, but
Yeah.
or sorry, instant answers and reasoning answers. But the way you toggle it is like simply by like passing through like certain different type of system prompt or certain type of tags to the model, and maybe that's what the Grok interface is basically doing in the background when you click those different buttons.
Yep.
Just like it's the same model, but it's just telling the model to think harder.
Yeah. So we also got Deep Search, which is a competitor to Deep Research that we now have everywhere. Perplexity announced the same thing. Google has Deep Research before OpenAI has Deep Research. OpenAI obviously famously has this like incredible product called Deep Research that is probably, until we try to test this out, is probably like one of the best ones that I've used, like really like opening my eyes to what AI could be. So we're going to see how much that is competitor, specifically because OpenAI's one is $200 a month still, so they haven't launched it yet. And also XAI has the upper hand in sources. So they have, like Nissan, I think you said they have a Reddit deal probably. I've seen Reddit like results inside Grok.com. I haven't seen them in OpenAI. They also have XAI obviously, and they probably have, you know, Wikipedia is still there, even though Elon calls it Wokopedia. I saw flashes. I saw he does, right? Like even though he wants maximum truth seeking, their Grok research goes to Wikipedia. So which still is very important as a resource. So they do have the advantage there. I will have to say, very interesting advantage in terms of like data access, and they also have Think Super Hard, which is a button that basically is comparable to O3 and O3 Mini, so O3 Mini and O3 Mini High. That's how it feels to me, or O1 and O1 Pro mode, which is, we don't know what actually happens there, but we know it's more compute. So they do have this button there. Very impressive. I'm impressed, folks. I'm impressed. Like I was impressed by the build outs and the stuff that Elon said at the end. He's not the right person to tell you about this. If you haven't looked or listened to Lex Friedman with Dylan Patel from Semi Analysis, Dylan goes into detail what actually happens in the Memphis supercluster, and it's kind of insane. And Dylan, it's his whole job to do. So definitely worth listening to that 5-hour conversation with Lex Friedman and Nathan. But I'm very impressed. I can't wait to play with this. I don't have access yet. Oh, I do have access via this thing, but I want the product, not the model. So thank you everybody for joining our Grok 3 live stream party. We are, the three of us who are left, we also had a bunch of other folks, friends on stage, but the three of us who are left, we're co-hosts of Thursday AI, which is a weekly AI show that you can join as well. We're going to talk about this and summarize and probably play around with this by Thursday, which we always do. And yeah, feel free to follow everyone here. LDJ, Nistan, try out GitHub GG. I'm Alex Volkov from Weights and Biases, and we do LLM observability stuff and other stuff. We also help train models. So this has been fun. Shout out to the XAI team on this incredible work. They haven't slept probably since Elon hired them. So hopefully they'd be able to sleep.
And the plumbers. And don't forget the plumbers.
And the plumbers that do liquid cooling in the Memphis supercluster. With that, folks, it's been Thursday. I thank you all for joining. This has been so much fun. And we'll see you on Thursday because nothing cancels. Like, we're still going to have a bunch of shit to talk about. Sam Altman's about to release some open source shit. By then, it's gonna be super cool. I'm going to tune in from New York. Cheers, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye. We're going to play us out. With a Thursday, I think.